fellow YouTubers, welcome to my channel. In this video I'd like to go over some things that you really need to keep in mind when you're looking for distressed properties. We're going to use this website here called Real Auction, and we are going to look at some homes, or one particular home I have in mind, to see whether or not you have a good deal. So you come over to Client Services here. And when you come over to Client Services, you're going to select the tab Foreclosures and Tax Deed Auctions. Once you do that, we're going to scroll down. We're going to use Escambia County Tax Deed Sales as our example. Once you do that, you're going to come over here to the auction calendar. We're going to go over to October, and we're going to select this list. Now I want to point out something real quick before we move on. In this list, you see that it says 36 out of 83. That means that when this auction list first came out, there was 83 properties on the list. But as of today, as the making of this video, there's only 36 left on the list. That's why you see these numbers here. We're going to click on it. We're going to scroll down. We're going to go to the second page of those that are available. And for our example, we're going to use this property right here. This property right here is there's a lot of valuable information right here. You're going to see that the date of the auction is October 1st, 2018 at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You're going to see the case number, the certificate number right here. You're going to see the opening bid. The opening bid for this property is $20,635.55. The address to the property, the assessed value that the county says the property is worth. The county says it's worth $41,865. Now we have to do our due diligence to see if these numbers are correct. I want to point something out real quick before we move on. Notice here that this 20,000 is pretty much half, 50% of this number here. The reason being is because this person or the owner of this property has homestead exempted their property. So if it were ever to go to a tax deed auction, it would start at 50% of its assessed value. Notice down here that this particular property, even though it's assessed at $53,000, it's only starting out at $4,198. That's the reason this property owner has not taken those steps needed to get the homestead exemption applied to the property. But anyway, let's get back to our property here. I'm going to select a property card. Once the property card opens, you got valuable information here as well. You have the parcel ID, which is right here, the owner's name. The owner's name is right here. Then you have the mailing address if we had to contact the owner, and the address to the property, which is right here. Sometimes these addresses are not the same, so keep that in mind. There's other information here. You have the GIS mapping right here. You have the effective year when it was created. The property was 1961. This property's square footage is 900 square feet. And there's a picture here of April 30th, 2012. Keep in mind this picture was taken in 2012, so you don't ever want to invest in something that you don't see with your own eyes. So if you can't see it, have somebody go out there and take pictures to make sure that the property is a good investment. So with that said, let's look at our numbers. So if we come over to Zillow, Zillow claims that this property, if it's sold today, would sell for $33,339. If we came over to Realtor and looked at it, Realtor claims that it would sell for $75,400. If we look at Trulia, Trulia claims that this property would sell for $33,156. Now if we come over to Homes, Homes claims that it would sell for $72,818. Now, how do those numbers help us? Well, let's plug in our numbers and see what we have. So if we come over here and we go to our sheet here, I've already plugged in the opening bid, which was $20,635. The assessed value that the county said it was worth, $41,865, 900 square feet. It's in Escambia County, and the property address. This right here, the 900 square feet, there's a formula that we use. We multiply the square feet times 0.015, which will give us the minimum and the maximum square footage that we're going to look at when we look at our comparables. So the minimum that we're going to look at when we're looking at comparables, we're going to make sure that the minimum square footage of a property that we compare is 765, and the maximum square footage of the property we compare is 1,035. That's for this example only. Because if I were to change this number, let's say I change it to 1,700 square feet, those numbers would change. Now it becomes 1,445 or 1,955. But let's go back to our original number of 900 square feet. So as we stated earlier, Zillow stated that it was worth $33,339,000. Realtor claimed it was $75,400. Trulia claimed it was $33,156, and Homes said it was $72,818. That gave us a fair market value of $53,678.25. Now, with that being said, this number right here is a little higher than this assessed number from the county, but we still want to go a little further. So if we come back and we look at our recently sold, which what you do is when you're here at Zillow, you want to hit expand. Once you hit expand, it will open up to this section right here, which recently sold. You'll click on the recently sold section and all this will open up. I scrolled through here and I grabbed some properties that was close to the comparables that we needed. And what we're looking for here is something that sold within the last 6 months. We are currently in September of 2018. So we're looking for a property that sold 6 months ago. So 6 months ago would have been in March 2018 and above. So those that fit that parameter. Mind you, as you scroll through here, you might not always have that parameter, but we try to stick to at least 4 comparables and to go with our minimum and maximum with square footage. Our minimum square footage, remember, was 765, and our max was 1,035. So one of the properties that I wrote down for our notes here was a property that was valued at $38,000. This one right here, this 7325 Shaham Road, which happens to be on the same road as our example. And this one is 900 square feet. But notice it was sold December of 2017. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of getting it within 6 months, but you have to grab the numbers that you can to get a general idea. I went through here and I grabbed 4 properties. And once I grab the 4 properties, what we'll do is we come back to our sheet here, recently sold. So the one example was one home that sold for $52,000. And then there was another example that sold a home that sold for $63,800. And then I found another example that sold for $55,000. And then my final example, $38,000, which gives us a fair market value of $52,200. Now, mind you, this is close to this number, but not exactly close. Again, the county doesn't sell properties. They're not experts. So if you were to buy it at $20,635.55, you would stand to make the difference between the fair market value, $33,042.70. That's if you sold it as is. Now, if you use these numbers, recently sold fair market value, and you sold it at this dollar amount, or you acquired it at this dollar amount, $20,635, your recently sold fair market value number would be $31,564.45. Now, mind you, there are expenses when you acquire a home. So let's say after everything is said and done, you paid $37,000. So for this particular home, $37,000, you would stand to make $16,678.25 if we use these numbers up here, and if we use these numbers down here for the recently sold fair market value, you would stand to make $15,200. With that being said, I hope you found value in this video, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and you guys have a good day, and I'll see you on the next video.